Welcome. My name's Mirhanda from Radio Plus in Coventry, and today I'm joined by Professor Andrew Knight and Marc Abraham, vet to many. So, gentlemen, I'm really excited, as a pet owner myself, really excited to hear about these, what we're going to talk about today, about, reducing our carbon paw print, so to speak.
Absolutely, and thanks for having us on, Mirhanda. What pet do you have? We've got to ask you.
I've got a very lazy cockapoo who's fast asleep on the sofa, and I've got a little cat that moved in with me about 12 years ago. So,
wow.
Sadly, we lost a gerbil during lockdown.
As in it died, or you genuinely lost it?
No, it passed away. Yeah, it died. It died. Yes, my son was very sad. I must say I didn't quite feel that sadness myself after being the one that cleaned the cage out continuously.
Sure.
But it was good while it lasted.
Absolutely. Well, this subject will be really relevant to you today, even more relevant, because what we're discussing is the new research that's come out by HOWND that's showing over half of British dog owners have never considered the impact their dog has on the environment. But 87% have admitted that they're keen to make small changes in order to help reduce their carbon paw print. And one of the ways to reduce the carbon paw print is to introduce a plant-based diet. So that's what we're here to chat with you about today.
And indeed, Mirhanda, there's been a small number of studies in the last few years demonstrating that pet food actually has a really big carbon paw print. And this has only come to light in the last 3 years, pretty much. We haven't had information about this earlier than that. And we know that the livestock sector itself has more greenhouse gas emissions than all the planes, trucks, cars, forms of transport combined worldwide. And actually pet food is a really big part of that. Between a third and a quarter of all of the impacts of the livestock sector are actually because of pet food, it seems, according to the latest research. So that's why this is so exciting that, this research by HOWND shows that almost 90% of dog owners are actually interested in seeing what they can do to try to decrease the environmental impacts of their dog ownership. And one obvious way that can be done is by exploring the plant-based products and the more environmentally friendly pet foods.
Yeah, absolutely. I told a couple of friends that I was interviewing you guys today, and oh, really? Tell us, let us know what's going on, because you're absolutely right. People look to reduce in so many different ways, and also, offer alternatives. Because if we think back to how our animals were fed, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it was purely on scraps, and I'm sure not all of that was meat and what have you. So, yeah, interesting to hear about this.
Yeah, they've been, living with us around campfires for something like 20 to 40,000 years, subsisting on all sorts of scraps, meat-based scraps, root vegetables from campfires. So they're biologically omnivorous. And again, this research by HOWND indicates that more than half of people don't understand this. They think that dogs are carnivores, but they're not. They're biologically omnivorous, so they can actually do very well on a wide range of ingredients, providing the diets are formulated to supply all of the nutrients that the dogs need. And it's important that that's done really well. The companies work with nutritionists and try to get that right, and that's what companies like HOWND are doing these days. They're putting out these high quality, well formulated diets that aim to meet all the nutritional requirements of dogs, and we're starting to see the results in the health studies as well, which is really interesting.
Okay. Yeah, do you know what? It's strange because quite often you see the cat and dog eating a bit of grass, don't you? And amongst other things, horse manure on a walk is another favourite of my dogs, which is disgusting, hence the breath. But yeah, absolutely. So to find out more about, so what products are we talking about today? What have we got regarding plant-based foods?
So the main product that we're suggesting today, or saying to people, give it a go, is a pumpkin and quinoa casserole, which is a sort of a superfood diet. And it's got not only pumpkin and quinoa, but it's all got lentils and oat flakes and blueberries and beetroot and all sorts of goodies. So what we're saying is, you don't have to sort of just completely switch your dog automatically to a complete plant-based diet. Obviously, make all dietary changes gradual, but maybe try it for 1 day a week or 2 days a week and see how they get on. As Andrew said, there's health benefits to a plant-based diet, as there is with us, but also to reduce the carbon paw print. And, there's other things we can do. The products that we buy for our pets, make sure they're high quality. They don't have to be replaced as quickly. Upcycle and repair and wash stuff rather than keep buying new stuff. Staycations, pet-friendly holidays, which I think we're being forced to do this year, rather than go internationally. And consider the food swap. And for more information for your listeners, they can go to dogslovehound.com. That's dogslovehound.com, and that's hound with a W. And they can find out the ingredients and all the other stuff that's going on in a plant-based, pet-friendly world that if they're responsible pet owners, they should be interested in.
Yeah. And Mirhanda, it's interesting that Mark's talking about, starting off gradually 1 day a week, 2 days a week. So you may have some of this amazing pumpkin casserole left over if you're doing that. And the good thing about the good thing about this wonderful diet with the extra blueberries and so on is, of course, that it's edible by us, frankly, as well. So it's quite funny because we've often thought about dogs surviving on the scraps from human campfires and more recently the dining table. Well, this is the first time I think we're looking at potentially going in the other direction. Us stealing from our dogs' food bowls, and not something I'd ever normally consider. But if it's going to have all these extra blueberries and pumpkin and lentils and delicious things that Mark's been telling us about, I have to say I'd be a bit tempted.
It sounds delicious, to be honest, when he was saying that. So I was thinking it is lunchtime now. It does sound very good. And that recipe, I should be hunting that down. So is this something you cook yourself, or is this pre-made products, or...
It's pre-made products. It's by the experts. So if you go to the dogslovehound.com website, you can order it, check it out, see the ingredients, and sample it for your own four-legged friend. So there's no excuse to be more impactful, let's say, on the environment in a positive way by reducing the impact that livestock makes and going plant-based instead, much like we do. So the research has shown it, the product is there, and really, why wouldn't you go plant-based for your dog, even just to give it a go? And I think also it's worth noting that as animal lovers who have pets, it's, I think, becoming more challenging for us when we know more about where these animals come from and how they're killed. It's more difficult to feed dead animals or to justify feeding dead animals to your pet animal when there are other plant-based, cruelty-free options available. So I think it's good for people just to have that thought, let it sink in for a while, and then find out what they can do to help the situation and improve their pets' lives, their lives, and of course the environment as well.
No, absolutely agreed there, because like you say, you don't know what's going in there, you don't know the life of the animal, where it's come from, and it's all about being a bit more mindful about how we shop, how we feed ourselves, how we exercise, everything that we're doing. And I think that's something pandemic's definitely brought to us all, is a bit of time to be a bit more thoughtful, a bit more mindful, and research these things. So I shall definitely be looking at Dogs Love Hounds. And you say that's HOWNDS.
Very good. Yeah, Dogs Love Hound, HOWND.com. Exactly right. And there's so much information on that website, not just about dog food, but I think your pet loving listeners will find it very interesting indeed to learn more and also to share as well.
Absolutely, because we met with Blue Cross recently, and we had some quite interesting stories from there too. So we have got, like you say, we're a nation of dog lovers, cat lovers. However, it's good to have that info out there that's easy to reach. And I certainly like the sound of those recipes. And certainly if the dog doesn't like it, that'll be my dinner sorted, wouldn't it?
There you go.
That'll be your dog's loss, won't it?
It certainly will. She's just quite fussy. She's not a food-driven dog, which is unusual, because a lot of animals are very much food-driven, aren't they? A little treat here and there. She just doesn't bother.
Mirhanda, you might need to be a little bit careful, because they can start to guard their food bowls if they really like their diets. And if you're thinking a bit of that blueberry and pumpkin looks yummy, just watch out for the guarding. I've just finished a study of 2,500 dogs this last year, which is about the biggest one that has been conducted so far, looking at how much they like their different diets, how commonly they guard their food bowls, how healthy they are on the different diets. And we found, firstly, that the ones on the vegan diets seem to like their food just as much as the meat-based ones. So, do watch out if you're trying to steal food from your dog. And the second thing, she's
just a little cockapoo, not a Rottweiler.
Oh, okay.
Take her on any day. Take her on.
Well, that's fortunate for you, perhaps, but not so much for your dog. But the other thing is that they're just as healthy as well. It's amazing. So 2,500 dogs, we found that they suffer no adverse health consequences. They may actually be healthier in some ways. They seem to have less obesity, less being overweight, less allergies and skin problems. They're more commonly reported as healthy by their vets and by their owners. So as a matter of fact, they're not only significant environmental benefits, but also potentially some health benefits of going onto these plant-based diets as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time today. I will certainly pass all that information on to my cat loving listeners. Lovely. And check that out myself as well, to give myself a bit more of a healthier plant-based diet as well.
And I'm sure we can arrange a couple of tins to be sent to you, Mirhanda.
Oh, did they go to you or to your dog?
To the dog, of course, gentlemen, to the dog. But however, if she turns the nose up, then you know it's not going to go to waste.
There you go.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your time.
And have a nice weekend.
Yeah, you too as well. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Mirhanda. Welcome.
My name's Mirhanda from Radio Plus in Coventry. And today I'm joined by Professor Andrew Knight and Marc Abraham, vet to many. So, gentlemen, I'm really excited, as a pet owner myself, really excited to hear about these